Here are all the books that I read and didn't read for the month of February. Fern of the Forest by J.L. Thaxton is coming out March 4th, and it's a phenomenal choice for middle grade March. The Girl in the Window by Rowan Coleman was my latest magical realism choice. If you love Emily Bronte, pick that up. A Company of Swans by Ava Ibbotson was our Cozy Reader Book Club choice for the month. It was more adult than I expected, but I enjoyed it. A Language of Dragons by S.F. Williamson was my YA fantasy book choice. I really enjoyed it. It's the first in a duology, but I love the academic setting. Speaking of academics, I love the third installment of the Emily Wilde's series. I loved it so much that I have started to reread it a little bit slower this time. The Unfinished Portrait by Mary Westmacott, aka Agatha Christie, was a departure from anything else I've read of hers. It felt very much like a memoir. A Long Fatal Love Chase by Louisa May Alcott also felt like a departure, and I really can't say that I enjoyed it. Another completed book that I can't say that I enjoyed was The Masterpiece by Emile Zola, but I did really enjoy Zumi and the Nightmare Painter by Brandon Sanderson. It might be my favorite secret project book that he did. As part of a read-along, I finished The Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon, #2 by Beth Brower, and loved it. I also read Eugene Peterson's memoir by Wynne Collier with a friend of mine and also absolutely adored it. I DNF'd The Time in Between by Maria Duenas because I realized after I had gotten into it that I had already read this about 8 years ago. I DNF'd Our Spoons Come From Woolworths by Barbara Cummins because it had too many triggers and turns that I just did not want to deal with. And don't judge me, I also DNF'd Normal People by Sally Rooney. I just could not continue reading Hurt People Hurting People. And I also DNF'd For She Is Wrath by Emily Varga. I really was looking forward to this Count of Monte Cristo retelling, but it just wasn't for me. Next, I went to the books that were not on my TBR list, but I read Cold Comfort Farm by Stella Gibbons. This was my second Stella Gibbons, and it was quirky. I also read Son of the Shadows by Juliette Marillier. This is the second book in the Seven Waters trilogy, and I read this with a friend of mine and loved it so much. And lastly, I had finishing the Winter Night trilogy on my goals for this year, and so I read The Girl in the Tower by Catherine Arden, and the third book, which is The Winter of the Witch by Catherine Arden, and The Winter of the Witch will probably be included on my list of favorites for the year.